It's time to join the ultimate adventure with D&D and Nerds Candy. When you find Nerds Candy on store shelves right now and purchase them, you will unlock one of 7 adventures. And here's a peek into what's in store for our Red Ranger. You've been investigating what the locals have been calling these color outages. The forest is usually filled with lush colors from the plants and the wildlife, but slowly color has been leached out of the city and also the surrounding forest as well. So you're hunting for clues, and at this moment, a crow lands right next to you with a tiny scrap of parchment in its beak.
Thank you, Mr. Crow.
You recognize the handwriting first off immediately. This is the handwriting of a Mr. Honeycutt. He is a librarian, and I will say it in his voice. Noble Ranger, please help us solve the mystery of the color outages. I have sent my sapling scout, Elowin Greenleaf, to wait for you in the old oak grove. She knows who you are and awaits your aid. Make haste.
He thinks I wouldn't have already been investigating such a thing, but I will find this green leaf.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll me a nature check if you would be so kind.
A nat 1 makes it a 3.
Yeah, it takes you a while to find the old oak grove for some reason. maybe there's been some new growth that has gone in your way.
I used to mark my path by the colors of the different berries on the way there.
Exactly. You finally do get there, though, and you hear screaming. And you see this tiny little sapling, adorable sapling with tiny black eyes, running around with a satchel and like a complete kind of like outfit on. It is a sapling. It's a tiny little awakened tree. And you see 2 kind of gnarly, twisted humanoid figures made out of branches and dead leaves. And you recognize them as blights.
I had drawn my longbow as soon as I heard the scream of the innocent. And I slide behind a tree to try and evade the blights seeing me.
You dip behind the tree at this moment, and the blights do not see you, but you see the sapling continue to run around. And they're kind of like running in circles.
If the sapling runs near me, I want to snatch the sapling up and bring it to my hiding spot.
You see the sapling running by, and the sapling, runs by your tree for a moment, and these twig blights are just in hot pursuit. You can hear the groaning and cracking of their branches as they're moving and running, and you just gently pick up this tiny little awakened sapling with large black eyes. And the twig blights continue off into the forest and get lost. And you know they're far, far away to this point, that you are very much safe from these creatures. The sapling looks scared. My name is Elowin Greenleaf?
Yes, Mr. Honeycutt sent you to find me.
Yes, I been looking for the Crimson Gem. I have a map. It's got all these glyphs on it, and the location is here. There may be some issues. There's something called the Scarlet Sentinel.
And it's guarding this Crimson Gem? Is a Scarlet Sentinel?
Yeah.
Why is everyone copying my color scheme? I reach to the ground and pick up a twig and bend it into a bow and hand it to Elwyn.
Aw. Then Elowin on the way is like trying to make little tiny twig arrows and stuff like that using pine needles, like shooting pine needles around the forest. Fairly harmless stuff.
Practice is the key.
You do get to the ledges, and there are lemon drop trees everywhere. You're kind of familiar with these, and if you pluck a couple of these little lemon drops, you can actually eat them and gain the effect of enhanceability. So you can probably store about 3 of these, I would say.
I pop them in my mouth naturally. I think I would like strength check.
Okay.
Yeah, bull strength.
All right, so you arrived. You're at the lemon drop trees, and there is a cliff face. Halfway down this cliff, there is a rope bridge, but the only way down apparently is you have to climb. You have to free climb down.
Oh, Um, well, given that I don't have arms, I just do my bow shooting with my feet. This might be difficult. The dice are not with me today. That's an 11.
With advantage?
With advantage.
You are like heading down the cliff and it begins to rain, just pouring rain at this moment. You have the most terrible luck. And kind of the basalt stone that you're making your way down becomes incredibly slick and you slip and start to fall. I need you to make another athletics check. And this is a big one.
16.
16 does it. You barely slow your descent and you're able to fall onto the rope bridge, and the entire rope bridge just starts swaying up and down. And that's when you start hearing the snapping of rope.
I'm going to hold on to the rope handrails and try and pull myself across as fast as possible. And I'll say that I've tied my rope around my waist and I'm attempting to lasso it onto something at the other side. Yes, 19.
You manage to lasso a piece of jutting stone on the other edge that is part of that temple that you've been searching for, just as the bridge falls down into the ravine beneath you, and it falls so far you can't even see it. And you lasso this piece of stone and you swing onto the other side with your trusted sapling companion. You are right now at the cliff ledge, and there is a door before you with all sorts of different kind of runes on it, like different symbols, and they're all glowing along this archway. You kind of look at the glyphs. Go ahead and give me an intelligence nature check.
18 as I stare at these runes.
What seems like might have been something very, very complicated. You just go up to the runes. You're like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. like, nope, this goes over here. This goes over there. And the door just opens up for you. This is very easy for you to figure out, you being a ranger.
Well, it just seemed intuitive. Why would anyone even think that was a lock?
The door slowly kind of creaks open, and you already see like Elwyn's on the other side, hanging off of a tiny tree root. You see this 12-foot tall statue of a warrior that is glowing red on top of this dais. And on the floor is a red circle etched with strange sigils all around it. And the countenance of the statue is very vampiric looking, especially with this kind of red glow that you see now above its head is the crimson gem, just floating directly above it, about 17 feet off the ground.
Uh-huh. I pull out my longbow and stretch it back, aiming for the sentinel, but then at the last moment, point my arrow upward and aim for the gem itself.
So you already have advantage. I am going to give you a +3 from Elwyn if you both shoot your arrows at the same time together. So you will have, you will definitely have advantage with Elwyn, the tiny little baby sapling, shooting its tiny little bow that you made for it, and you shooting your bow at the same time might just knock the gem loose.
Okay, yes, we're going for the gem now, and the sentinel, of course, I have its attention, but I look over at Elwyn and just sort of don't move anything except just my tiny little eyebrows that I lift at Elwyn and look at the gem and look at Elwyn and motion to my bow. All right, rolling. A natural 20.
Oh, so how do you hit the gem? Like, how do you get this gem away from this giant vampiric statue?
I just scuff the bottom edge of the gem and it pops out of whatever magic was holding it in the air and goes upward and starts tumbling through the air.
The little tiny sapling shoots its arrow as well, and it hits it, and it like shoots it a little further towards you, and you jump into the air and you grab the crimson gem.
I want to give this sentinel a piece of my mind, and I say, "You have disturbed the sanctity of my forest, and I will be the one to restore the color to these trees." And I haughtily say, "Come on, Elwyn," and march back out the way I came.
We should go see Mr. Honeycutt. I know that he currently is in the old oak grove right now.
And we go to the old oak grove.
You run through the forest, you get to the old oak grove, and you see this very fastidiously dressed man with horn-rimmed glasses. Like, hello, Red Ranger. Did you meet the day with success?
I pull back my leaf cloak and say, "Does this look like success to you?"
That very much does. I and the Lawkeeper Society are very happy that you have found this gem, but we have another mission for you with many others, and perhaps we will find a way to restore color to this world. And he hands you 20 gold pieces and also hands you a necklace of adaptation, which allows you to breathe under any circumstances. I will tell you all about that later.
Amazing! I will say, without Elowin's help, I never would have made it past the Sentinel Guard. Elowin did amazing work and is well on his way to Rangerdom.
You've never seen a sapling more happy than Elowin right now. And that is our adventure.